Welcome to day one of Mosami Climate Conference. I have with me Ruchira from Synapsys. Ruchira, thank you so much for joining in. Let's quickly introduce who you are and what you do at Synapsys.
I am a co-founder and managing partner of Synapsys. Synapsys is a deep tech fund focused on climate tech and health tech. We're funding early traction startups that are building unique science and engineering-led solutions for the climate space and for the health space. Of course, the two are very closely connected. There are two sectors, but there are actually many sectors within them. Climate has several sectors within them. And the impact of adverse climate change on health is an area that needs an enormous amount of attention. So we are funding a spectrum of technologies in those spaces.
Awesome, Ruchira. I just wanted to touch base on one myth that when it comes to impact investments, there is no ROI. What do you have to say on that?
Well, I was running IFC's disruptive tech investment team in South Asia. We had a portfolio of 20 direct investments. We had 130 indirect investments through 10 VC funds. And as everyone knows, IFC and the World Bank Group cares deeply about impact. But that portfolio returned a 28% IRR over a 10-year period, while delivering on all the impact metrics and maintaining the best standards of ESG, governance, etc. So we do care about a gamut of things, and we think that high returns and impact can coexist.
Wow, that's actually impressive. One more question which I had was, what are the few AI-powered solutions that could transform climate action and innovation, but they are not in the mainstream yet?
Well, AI as such is still an emerging space, even though it's extremely popular and what everybody talks about at this point in time. AI solutions will infiltrate every aspect of our lives, both for consumers and for industrial settings. Within the climate space, we see AI playing a very strong role when it comes to grid management, grid level intelligence, real-time transmission intelligence to reduce transmission losses and make energy distribution more efficient. We see a lot of AI solutions for battery management. Batteries will become ubiquitous. We expect that batteries will be part of everything. As different aspects of energy consumptions get electrified, you will need storage. And battery life and battery management will be dependent on data from the battery management system and AI algorithms running on top of that. Within the agri-tech space, there is a lot of solutions being built to make the agri-economy more climate resilient. And there we expect AI to play a big role when it comes to autonomous agricultural equipment. Just like we're talking about passenger cars and two-wheelers and three-wheelers that may become autonomous, tractors and other farm equipment might become autonomous, again powered by AI. We're also seeing a lot of potential for AI-powered seed genetic work that can create more climate resilient seeds. And finally, of course, AI and health data analysis will lead to better outcomes and better care management on the health tech side.
Wow, that's like, you touched based on 4 different aspects here. One was the battery management space, the grid management space, the agri space, and even the genetics and the health side of it.
Yes.
So that's quite a lot for people to actually dive into and kind of explore this area, right? Generally, in your entire experience of looking at different solutions, how have you seen the role of women into this entire space?
I think women and diversity in general is super critical. I like to always share that I was introduced to this concept very early in my life because I went to a very male-dominated school for my undergrad. I was at IIT Delhi, where I was one of 11 women in a class of 400 boys.
Oh my God.
Right? So I had seen the all-boys dominated space very early in my life, and I began to value what diversity brings to decision making, what it brings to the work culture. I've lived and worked in the US and London, so New York, London, US, Europe, and now Asia. And I feel that the world over, most of these sectors, particularly investing, particularly startups, they continue to be male dominated. And we need more diversity. We need women solving for women, but we need women and men collectively solving for the world. So diversity continues to be high on priority for Synapses, the fund we're building. We want to be able to build a leadership team which is extremely diverse. We want to be propagating best practices for diverse hiring within the investee companies that we support. And we want a stakeholder group that comes together to solve for climate in a very diverse and inclusive manner.
We hope to see that future where women are leading from the forefront. Definitely, for sure. That's great, and I think I am more than in awe just by hearing at you and the different aspects that you brought to the space. Thank you so much for joining in again, and I wish you all the best for the near future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Delighted to be here.